Hello and welcome back to the Banfa News Network. We're happy to have all you guys with us and hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We did a little off topic, but if you guys cooked turkeys this year, if you did it the traditional way, that's awesome. We tried something new. We splatted a turkey. It's nothing crazy, but you just cut it down its back and then you cook it on its ribs and man, it was really good. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. But we're starting off with three topics today. We're talking about the good, the few news topics which are important to the news network because if you watched our last live stream, we're still following that news topic, but we're also going to cover other things on top of that. So, and then obviously the great of the day is going to be the word that we end up with. So, the beauty of America is created by the Americans that live there. I can't express another appreciation for the American dream besides the American work behind the dream, if that makes any type of sense. So, for a multitude of people, including myself, we contribute to the GDP of America. And the people that I think that I like to highlight are the ones that do the most for the American people. So besides people like myself who sells things to people, um, there's people that actually provide a network of essential help. For example, truck drivers, plumbers, railroad workers. These individuals, you can name them, that fix things around America or deliver medical supplies across the nation, help everyone in so many ways, especially during these times of year. And what I want you to understand is that these people aren't part of the system or the bureaucracies. Like they're not your Silverwood or your Paris lakes. Those are just some lakes in California. Park Recs individual that they do help Americans, trust me. But I'm talking about people that go and miss these holidays with their families to ensure that you have the holidays with your gas turned on and the electricity working with all of your delicious food in your house. So, as you're realizing that the Banfa News Network cares more about the American people, that we should be supporting. Excuse me. Um, don't take it as a personal shot. It should be an aspiration. If you're a young man, a young woman looking for potential work inside of this great country that we have, don't turn aside the jobs that are essential. You'll find yourself living very well and very happy in the long run. Moving along. So, our news network has covered many topics. There's a few people that are on YouTube that I don't feel the need to talk about at all, ever. And believe this or not, there be a few times here that I'll probably talk about a few people, but good reason. And today is one of those times. So I'm gonna start off on a individual who's been in the news recently, and we take very specific stances against individuals for very specific reasons. The news article that I would like for you guys to experience with me comes from none other than the Art News, and it's by Daniel Cassidy. and he was talking about a petition to change from the School of Arts Institute in Chicago, the honorary doctorate degree of a rapper, which a long time ago made some good music, music, makes good music. But this guy got famous. People started idolizing him, and I think that kind of got to his head. But along his path of fame, he did a lot of good things. A lot of hard work, I'm sure, associated with that. And I think there becomes a point in time where you can't negate that somebody's efforts or will or faith in themselves and God and their system. But, and I think a lot of people who go through institutions of education understand that like there's certain principles that you learn in school that kind of make it understandable on why you want to say something. Could you define someone as Could you define someone as ignorant if they weren't able to conceptually grasp what that meant? Now, would you consider somebody with a doctor's degree ignorant? Could that be possible? Well, here we go. The list of losses that were undergone from this is from the news article I'm just quoting Mr. Castle. In the recent spat of anti-Semitic statements is not short. I'm not going to quote all these companies that this dude lost because I don't think he cares. Um, maybe he would care if some of those things made gain, but like being a victim of losses of entitlements from companies that kind of were given to you because of, I don't know, you call that hard work, then maybe, I don't know. Like, I'm sure he's fine. The next article that we're going to cover, because I'm not going to read the rest of this to you, because like I said, there's not many people that I would ever bring up. And if you know me, you know why. I don't even know who people are. I don't know who that person is. I just know that as somebody that has a degree and that is in pursuit of more degrees, and that realizing that rich, famous people get honorary degrees because of their understanding or hard work or blah, 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 blah. Quote Zelotus. Um, no, maybe you should go back and read a book or 5:17. Maybe you understand the principles, which if you're unignorant, then even on a faith based, I'll get to you. Okay, so Meta has threatened to pull all news. Oh, this is somebody else you probably won't hear me talk about. I don't go on Facebook anymore. Anybody that watches this channel will know that because of how I started this channel. Mark Zuckerberg and his censorship after he started releasing payments went a little bit overboard. And so during that overboard um, I got caught in the raft. I've never been censored before. My free speech anywhere. But yeah, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. There was a whole bunch of people on that flight log. Um, you can name them. It's in one of these videos. You can find it on the internet. And since I comment that, how did all these people testify against all these people and nobody went to jail? Zuckerberg censored me. So Meta has threatened to pull all news from Facebook in the US only. Propaganda, here we go. If an ill-considered quote unquote bill that would compel it to pay publisher passes. What does that mean? And this story is brought to you by Business Insider. And I am not going to destroy your name, but I will give you a shout out. It is SBHIMIYA at Insider. Shot it. Saudi? I don't know. Sorry, butchered that. In a statement Monday, Meta threatened to pull news from Facebook. Blah, 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 blah. The reason why I feel like this is so crucial is MySpace got bought out and changed, but it's still there, you know? Facebook turned into a machine and an idea that they were able to kind of repeat all over the place. Like you're scrolling everywhere now, you know? You're scrolling on this video, hopefully. Press like, subscribe, whatever. Ring the bell. That's what it is. I haven't been here long enough, guys. Don't hate me. I am the producer. At the end of the day, the fact that his company has been profiting off of so many people's content, your content, my content, everybody's content, that he's been able to sell ads to so many people. When in reality, it's Facebook kind of became like a news source. You know? It didn't go there for a moment in time. The reason I stopped looking to Facebook for news and I started telling people information was COVID. Like it seemed like COVID was getting spread through other means besides coffee. Like people were getting afraid next to me and like, oh my gosh, COVID! Oh, don't cough on me. I'm like, dude, this place they haven't it hasn't left these regions yet. When are you talking about? It sounds like something you had last week. Like, it'll be okay. Okay. Another person that I think the Banfa News Network has a lot more coverage to do, and we will be doing as the campaign um, kicks off in the future. Like, to be honest, the idea of a Trump presidency in 2024 versus a Biden presidency in 2024. Oh my goodness, there's no way we let somebody turn that old in the White House. I'm not talking about Trump, but there's something to be said about President Trump's campaign forward. And if you guys know or have seen this show, you know we're a constitutionalist program. We believe in the people. We believe in the social contract that the government has with those people. And we believe that the government as an entity and as a legislating, law enforcement, judgmental branch or judgmental branches, um, that they uphold that social contract to give us our lovely Bill of Rights and our Constitution. There's something to be said there that inside of our balance of this weird time we're living in, and the time we're living in is yes, Donald Trump is no longer the president of the United States, while Joe Biden is the president of the United States. Supporting the current president never in American history has meant supporting every one of his policies. There's a whole legislative branch that's arguing right now over policies that the president's thinking about for the purpose of this balance. Inside of this constitution that we have, we undoubtedly have the rights to say whatever you want. And for the former president to say that he feels that things should be removed out of the Constitution, sure is his right. Does that really make people like me, who's a constitutionalist, feel comfortable? No. And the reason why that is because what's to stop them from taking out the Second Amendment because it benefits or it, in their view, defines something as illegal or unjust or unprincipled or something figurative? Hear me out. What I'm not saying is that if there was some type of illegitimacy in our democracy, that the President Trump's authority, or I would say representation of the people on the matter, shouldn't be heard out inside of, I would say, some type of judicial review or legislative investigation. Gutting the Constitution, Mr. President, it's a hard no from this constitutionalist. I think that we keep the balance of power inside of the people's hands, inside of the republic, and maybe we crunch down on how on earth we define the release of funding for pandemics, especially during election years, because maybe if the federal government didn't fund the absentee ballots with the idea of a Republican high turnout, because COVID really wouldn't stop their grandma from wearing a mask and, signing her name without her ID, Good Lord. But, because it's normal in Detroit and Chicago for busloads of ballots to show up in the middle of the night. It's normal per the Attorney General. I heard Barr say it myself. And I believe it. It just makes it really not so compelling that we should dissolve something because of this one loss. I think that you should go back to the drawing board and re-pull back in the American people and take them to another understanding of what the party you represent stands for. I honestly believe in a lot of Republican policies, and everyone knows that about me. I believe in a lot of America, if that makes any type of sense. So when it comes to the president being disqualified after making comments, I honestly will let that author know my opinion is, dude, if you can't say what you want to say about whatever you want to say in this country towards whatever you want to say it towards, as long as you're not in a movie theater or an airplane, like someone's not going to get hurt, dude, say it, bro. Go for it. And then go write an article. Who do you work for? The Raw Story. Getting recognized on the Banfa News Network. I pull these articles off the internet, and because I feel like a lot of them are trash, and you guys should feel and get the real truth. All right, we never end on a bad note, and if you lasted this long, thank you guys for real. Like it, love it. There's no comments in the comment section, but that's okay. We're reading from the book of Hebrews today. This is for that man that I was talking about earlier. If he misses, he probably will never see this, but if he ever did, check it out. Yeah, okay. Like, if there was an editor here and they'd be like, why would you pick your teeth on camera during the line stream? I'm going to tell them that it was scripted. It says pick teeth here. Make sure you spit out something because it was supposed to be the trash that people idolize in this country. This is a book in the New Testament. So the guy that feels really upset about a culture. This book is Hebrews, and the book of Hebrews is written to the Hebrew people. And it's from Paul, the apostle. And he pretty much claims that Christ is the Messiah for the Jews. He was a Jew. The Jews can be saved too, just like anybody can be saved. Okay. Chapter 4, just because not to take it out of contents, but this is the family Bible, and my mom only highlights important parts. So the rest of believers is attained by faith. Let us therefore fear. Just so you guys know, fear God is the beginning of wisdom. Fearing the Lord will save you on this earth of ours. Least a promise being left of us of entering in his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. I'm going to repeat that. Let us therefore fear, least a promise being left us of entering in his rest, any of you seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath. Just so you know, um, yeah, God don't lie. If they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world, for he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place, again, if we shall enter into my rest, if they shall enter into my rest. Verse 5. And in this place, if they shall enter into my rest. Verse 6, I'm going to keep reading past the highlighted part, but for you that want to understand what that means, don't feel worried about reaching out to me or going on the Banfa News Network site and clicking on the comment box. There's plenty of people that will happily explain what you're missing out on when it comes to the love of the Spirit. Seeing therefore it remains that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. There's a few people that I don't really talk about, and on other social media platforms, I've definitely blasted them without any regard. And I don't mind blasting them now because of the fame that they obtained and just because of like you advertise, and I 100% refuse to pay money for advertising right now while my production is so trash. But the word needs to be out there, and evil needs to know that good is present. But I don't like the fact that I've seen people like Mr. Shapiro. Don't know Ben. Don't know who he is. I know he wears Jewish attire. I believe he's a professed Jew. I have listened to him. I've seen his works. I followed him on different social media works. I don't know him because I haven't met him. Like I never shook his hand, never looked in his eyes. I never sensed his spirit, so I don't know if it's black, dark, or nothing. I don't know if he's good fighting with us or against us. I have no idea. But I do know that Mr. Mr. Ben, you shouldn't be talking about what Kanye says either, dude. Like, I'm 1,000% positive I watched you on like the Joe Rogan show. Maybe it wasn't Joe Rogan, but it probably was Joe Rogan. Just downplaying the life of Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior of everyone on the earth, whether you choose to accept it or not. But like, I love my Jewish brothers because do you know what? Like the Bible says, be like Christ. Christ was a Jew. You know, he loved the Father, did it. He didn't do anything wrong. So, just weird. I'm not saying what that rapper guy or whatever he is, producer, I don't know what he does, was right. Trust me, I think he was wrong. You know? You gotta know what's going on. But at the same time, um, God's good, y'all. And this isn't like a reach out or cloud grabber or anything like that. This is the Banfa News Network. I'm bringing you real news. I don't think his GOP was terminated because of what he said. I think he needs to come out and be like, hey, crime is crime. If this crime happened in America, we need to figure it out. And if because the Constitution allowed Pence to certify and ratify the vote, even though it was illegal, then or it wasn't right, that doesn't mean you change the Constitution. That means like Hunter Biden's laptop, which is coming up in the very soon episode. I know we dropped that emergency link, but people weren't catching it. But once it broke that they were digging this dude, we started talking about. But the Banfa News Network wishes everybody happy and blessed holidays. If we don't see you guys before Christmas, which we might, Lord willing, we'll see. If we don't, God's good.